Well, hello there, Science 10s. I just got off the Google Meet. Yes, I can talk today with some of your classmates, and I decided that I would post this short video for you as well. Just a bit of feedback on some work that we did last week on the univalent and multivalent and polyatomic naming, and then just some reminders moving forward this week as well. Okay, so here was an example of a question that a lot of students got wrong, and you got part marks for it. And so just a reminder that you're not capitalizing the names of the elements in the compound name. It's not like a person's name, right, where you have to have a capital letter for their first name and their last name. It's just a compound. So they have a capital B here and a capital P here. You don't want to do that. Now, I only docked you guys. I think the first time you did it, I didn't dock you any marks for it. But the second time you did it, you only got 0.5 out of 1. So please, if you have any written questions, again, don't be doing that. Just use small letters, little b, little p. Okay? So another thing, this was one of the big themes last week, was is it a univalent or is it a multivalent metal? And so if it is a multivalent metal, its name requires that you have a bracket with a Roman numeral showing you the ion charge inside of the bracket. So here's an example for you guys, COBr2 solid, and you guys have to come up with the name. So here's what you do. You grab out your periodic table, and I like to start with the anion for this. Okay, so here's my, not my periodic table. Here's my periodic table. So the formula that I'm looking for is COBr2 solid. So it's telling me that there's 2 of these BRs. So remember that the metal is always listed first. It's your cation, your positive ion. And then the non-metal is listed second. He's the negative, the anion. So we know that all to the right of the periodic table is where our non-metals are. So to the right of the staircase. So here's this guy, bromine, and we know that we're going to change his name to bromide. And we're going to then figure out what charge does he have. So he's in group 17, and it's this last number here that tells us how many electrons he has in his outermost valence energy level. He's got 7. So we need to add 1 to make that magic number 8, so he has a full octet. So what is the ion? The bromide ion is Br minus. So the last half of this name, the non-metal part of the name, is going to be bromide. Now, there's 2 of them. That's what this 2 means. I've multiplied him by 2. So we have 2 negatives. So now this will allow me to figure out which cobalt ion there is. Because when I look up cobalt here, he's a metal. And he's one of these multivalents. He's got more than 1 ion charge listed. Is he the 2 positive, or is he the 1 positive, or sorry, is he the 2 positive or the 3 positive? Well, that's what we have to figure out. And that's why we were looking at the bromide. We knew that it was a 2 negative on each 1 times 2 was 2 negative. So which one am I going to choose? I'll have to choose the 2 positive. So the cobalt is the CO2 positive ion. So how do I write that in the name? I'm going to write the word cobalt. That's the name of the metal. Always the metal, the positive, the cation is first. And then the ion charge goes in brackets, but we don't write 2 positive. We write a Roman numeral like that. So cobalt bracket 2 bromide. Okay, and so that's the correct way of writing that name. So a lot of you just wrote cobalt bromide. Well, that's not correct. He's not like lithium where there's only 1 ion, right? When we see lithium, he only has 1 ion charge. He's a univalent. This guy is a multivalent. He has more than 1 ion charge. And so we cannot name them the same. They're different naming styles, and you have to make sure that you're doing that correctly. Okay, so again, multivalent has to have a bracket with a number. It's a 2, and again, no capital letters when you're doing those names. Okay, a couple other multivalents that people had trouble with. Gold. So I told my most awesome chemistry joke today when I was doing the video chat with the kids. And you're going to love it, guys. Hey, you, come back here with my gold watch. Get it? AU, because it's gold. AU, gold watch. No, okay, anyway. So here's the next. We got AUN. So how many AUs are there? Well, there's one AU and there's one N. So we got to look up the N and find him, the nitride ion, and then decide which of these two charges is it. Well, when we go and do that and we look up on nitrogen, we see that he is in group 15. And as we're looking him up, we see N, nitrogen, and it does not tell us what the charge is, okay, when we're looking on the periodic table. It just has a little blank there. So you have to understand that there's 5 electrons there, and in order to get a full octet, we're adding 3. So nitrogen, when it becomes the nitride ion, we call him N3 minus. So again, we're changing the last part of his name. It's no longer nitrogen, it's now nitride. So he has a 3 negative charge, and there's one of him, and there's one gold. So which one is it going to be? Well, if it was the AU plus 1, that's not enough charges. That does not match up with the N3 minus. We'd have to multiply him by 3. So that's how we would get AU3N. But that's not at all what the formula is. They're telling us it's AUN. So it's not the plus 1 charge. It must be the 3 plus charge. Okay, so it's AU3 plus. So you cannot just write gold nitride. You got to tell me which gold is it. And then that's why you write in brackets gold. Which gold was it? Well, it was the 3 plus ion. So we write gold bracket 3, and then the nonmetal with the new ending of his name, nitride, is going to be every nonmetal ending. Okay, so there is how we do our multivalence, and make sure that we're writing our number in brackets. Always remember, guys, when you are writing the formulas out, the instructions are written at the top of every assignment. It says you must write the state. If you didn't get that, you only got 0.5 out of 1. So every time you wrote a state, every time you wrote a formula, if you didn't write your state, you were getting docked marks. Okay, so here's an example of a student. No state, no marks, right? Well, you get some marks, but not full marks. Okay, a lot of students also had trouble with this next one, WI6. And I bet you had to search high and low to find this W guy. Well, it's actually he used to be called Wolfram. And here he is here on the periodic table. For sure, he's a metal, right? He's on the left side of the periodic table. These are the metals on this side. And W, his name used to be Wolfram. I don't know why they changed it. He's now known as tungsten. But look, guys, there's only one charge there. It's a 6 positive charge, but there's only one. I want you to compare them to like manganese. There's more than one charge there. There's a 2 and a 4. That's 2 charges. That guy's multivalent. Tungsten is not. He's univalent, right? He only has 1 charge. Doesn't matter what the number is in front of the charge. There's not 2 charges. It's not like 6 positive, comma, 1 positive. It's only 1 ion charge. Okay, and again, most students are understanding that ending goes from iodine or nitrogen or oxygen or phosphorus. You have to have an IDE ending. And then I have no idea where this come about. This TiO2 solid we do not use prefixes when we are doing ionic compounds. This is a no-no. Okay, so I don't know where that came from. That would have been correctly written as titanium 4 oxide, not dioxide. We do not use prefixes. Okay, just a quick reminder about your polyatomics. When you're looking at the ending of names, and if the ending is an ATE ending or an ITE ending, then instead of going to the nonmetal side of your periodic table, you're going to look up in the special table, the polyatomic ions table. Okay, and so here's your polyatomic ions table, and I'm just going to blow this up a little bit bigger so that you can see it a bit better. And this table is where our polyatomics are. There's more than one atom that makes up the ion. Okay, so an example of the question we were looking at here was beryllium iodate. Okay, so when you see those ATE endings, again, the clue is that you're not looking over here. It's not going to be one of these non-metals that's listed over here to the right of the periodic table. It's going to be in the polyatomic ion chart. And this chart is alphabetical, right? Starting at A here and ending at T here. So if I'm looking for the letter I for iodate, he's going to be somewhere probably in the middle. And yep, here he is. Okay, so iodate is IO3 with a 1 minus charge. So what does that mean about this ion? It means there's one iodine, there are 3 oxygens, and they share together a negative charge. Now, remember beryllium, he is our metal. So he's on the left side of the periodic table. Oh, here he is right here. Now, what's his charge? He's a univalent ion. He only has 1 charge. He is Be2+. Iodate has a 1 minus charge. So that means we have to make these numbers equal. I've got to times this guy by 2. So to do that, when I'm writing the formula, I put him in brackets. IO3 bracket 2. Beryllium stays Be. And then don't forget your state. You write S at the end. There's your state. Okay, so remember that these polyatomics are found in this chart here. So those ATE and ITE ending guys, make sure that you are looking them up on the chart. Okay, so again, no capitalizing. Don't forget your states. And remember that always your cation goes first. So lithium, Li positive, that's your metal. Thiocyanate, you look him up, you see he's SCN minus. We don't split up those ions, right? It's always the positive first and the negative second, right? And so the correct answer is LiSCN solid. A lot of you were splitting them up. CLINS? No, that's not correct. Okay, keep the polyatomics as they are listed, completely just as they are on your table. Okay, so more naming this week. Keep at it. Decide, is it metal univalent or multivalent? Is there a polyatomic? Lots of practice this week. Check your answer keys. Email me if you have questions. Don't do the summative until you've done lots and lots of practice. All right, well, just one assignment this week. It is a summative. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to email me, michelle.ledeen@ghsd75.ca. Take care.